Today marks a turning point. After 5 incredible years of the Hydrogen Podcast, I'm stepping up to the mic one last time. Together, we've navigated a market full of promise, optimism, setbacks, and perseverance. We've explored policy shifts, technological leaps, business opportunities, and the frank realities of finance, public perception, and the global energy landscape. Above all, we've become a community, a group of listeners, thinkers, engineers, investors, and dreamers, unified by the vision that hydrogen can and must play a vital role in the world's future. Back in our earliest episodes, hydrogen's resurgence was just beginning. The podcast chronicled bold proclamations from the EU's hydrogen strategy, covered the first major investments into electrolysis plants stateside, and tracked debates over gray, blue, and green hydrogen. We dissected the shift in language, from skepticism to hope, as policymakers, corporate leaders, and engineers debated how hydrogen would fit in with renewables, batteries, and legacy natural gas. Longtime listeners will remember our interviews with startup founders and lab researchers who envisioned a world powered by fuel cell vehicles, residential hydrogen heating, and massive export hubs. We set a unique tone by questioning how these forecasts stacked up economically and technologically. One episode stands out, Hydrogen's Net Zero Promise, What's Real and What's Hype, which sparked one of our first long-running debates on Reddit and LinkedIn. As the market matured, so did our coverage. We tracked the slow-moving regulatory battles behind the U.S. Hydrogen Hub program, including project delays and the dramatic collapse of some high-profile ventures. The Color Wars episode, which asked whether the focus on green hydrogen over blue and turquoise was really about emissions or just politics rebranding. Listeners helped crowdsource our famous Hydrogen Hurdles segment, bringing first-hand accounts of supply chain struggles, permitting delays, and real-world lessons from pilot projects in places like Texas, California, and Germany. We analyzed everything from China's record-breaking Kuka electrolyzer plant, which has 20,000 tons of annual production, to Japan's experiments powering municipal fleets and Australia's bet on hydrogen exports. One of the most popular interview series from this period brought lab heads, investors, and environmental advocates together to dissect both success and failure, like the Stopped Arches Hydrogen Hub project in California, which was meant to unlock $10 billion in private capital, but was put on ice as federal grant priorities shifted. Another favorite was the coverage of Plug Power's Georgia facility, where we dug deep into the 97% plant uptime and 99.7% production availability. Hard data that proved not just feasibility, but reliability at scale. We asked tough questions about cost per kilogram, long-term support from large customers like Walmart and Amazon, and how the industry would actually achieve profitability. The last couple of years brought turbulence. Funding dried up in places as governments reevaluated priorities. We reported as Air Products and Chemicals posted a $1.7 billion quarterly loss and pulled back from certain high-profile U.S. projects, evidence that the lesson of economic fundamentals matter was anything but theoretical. But we also covered breakthroughs, like HIF Global's $6 billion Matagorda, Texas e-methanol plant and electric hydrogen's rapid progress in electrolyzer technology, cutting costs and supporting real American manufacturing. These stories demonstrated that for every setback, there was an equally impressive bounce back. A memorable guest segment featuring Dr. Eugene McKenna, Senior VP at Johnson Matthey, who poked at the assumptions about cost-competitive hydrogen and described his work in sustainable aviation fuels, a theme revisited often as hydrogen's future in mobility became a major focus for listeners. Community engagement peaked during a series of episodes on microgrids. Voices from New Mexico and Houston shared how solar hydrogen hybrids brought off-grid resilience to tens of thousands, eliminating diesel reliance and showing hydrogen's real-world value. Every episode, the show grew because of the audience, engineers sharing data, policy wonks challenging legal interpretations, and project managers offering cautionary tales. LinkedIn threads, conference meetups, and even casual emails shaped our interviews and research. Whether praising the show's analysis or writing in to challenge the stats, you made every episode sharper, and your feedback helped create a space for honest discussion and spirited debate. It is deeply fitting that we close out with Raven SR, a company we first highlighted in the podcast's opening season for their novel approach to waste to hydrogen. Now, after 5 years, they've achieved a monumental step: authority to construct California's first organic waste-to-hydrogen facility at the Republic Services landfill in Richmond. This site will process 99 tons of organic waste daily using non-combustion steam CO2 reforming, producing 2,400 metric tons of renewable hydrogen annually. And don't forget the climate impact. This process may prevent 7,200 metric tons of CO2 emissions per year, supporting both California's regulatory mandates and zero emissions vision. And let's look at the financial model. With $75 million raised almost exclusively via private equity, Chevron and Samsung Ventures among those backers, and leveraging the IRA's 45V credit with no federal grants. And let's also look at their engineering leadership. Raven SR's process uses less than half of the energy of electrolysis. It doesn't require fresh water and is modular for local deployment. It's a model for scalable, community-based hydrogen that the show, and you the listeners, have long advocated. And let's look at this as also an industry benchmark. At the time of delays and cancellations elsewhere, this is proof that careful engineering, persistence, and real financing win the day. And so from us here at the Hydrogen Podcast to Matt Murdock and everyone else at Raven SR, congratulations. And let's look at some key lessons for all of us. Across hundreds of episodes and every market cycle, here's what we've learned together. The first, never abandon economics. Projects live and die by realistic business cases and bankable offtake agreements, not just press releases and public policy. Also, avoid technology dogmatism. Hydrogen's many shades, whether it be blue, green, turquoise, natural, methane pyrolysis, or others, each suit different local needs. Flexibility is everything. And also remember, policy can accelerate, not substitute. Incentives matter. Basic project economics matter more. And lastly, resilience and adaptability win. Perseverance, honest reevaluation, and cross-industry collaboration are key. And so, what are my final thoughts for the hydrogen industry? To everyone building the hydrogen sector, stay focused on real economics. Make certain every project's financial foundation is solid. Do not become overly invested in one technology. Markets and regulatory regimes shift, and the best opportunities will emerge where adaptability meets discipline. Hydrogen remains the future, a future within our reach if we stay the course with realism, innovation, and mutual support. And so thank you, listeners. Thank you, colleagues. For 5 years, you gave me your time, attention, and trust. And for that, I am forever grateful. Stay strong, stay smart, and remember, together, we can make hydrogen happen. And as always, keep your eyes up and honor one another.